tell the world.
Hi, I'm Johnny. This is Johnny Likes, the show where I talk about movies that I like. Today I'm talking about the latest incarnation of another 1980s property. Today, Johnny likes Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem. I'm always nervous when there is a new version of the Ninja Turtles. I grew up on the 80s cartoon, and I remember seeing the 90s movies. It's in my blood. I love them. One of my earliest movie memories is seeing the first or second one on the big screen, and there being like a lineup around the block to get into the theater. It's a special franchise to me. Luckily, it's been pretty much constantly around since its inception, and so there's been several versions of it, and I haven't liked all of them, so it's not like it's gonna crush me if this isn't the version for me. So let's quickly go over my thoughts on the previous versions, just to see where I'm at turtle-wise. So the comics, they seem cool. I never really read them. I read like one. It was at my buddy's house when I was young. Seemed neat. The 1980s cartoon. Huge fan of it when I was growing up. I still like it now. The first few seasons are actually still pretty solid. I'm not familiar with the later ones as much, but I'm sure they're taking up hard drive space in my brain. The 90s live action movies. Love them all. Magic. The late 90s live action series. Not a fan. Wanted to like it, but it just wasn't good. That was my first taste of the disappointment. The 2000s animated series. I never really watched it. I did see the 2007 movie that they did based on it. That was decent enough. The 2010s animated series. The Nickelodeon one. Hugely underrated in my opinion. Love the heck out of this one. The 2010s live action movies. They're like medium at very best. First one, very not good. Or I didn't really like the first one anyways. Second one, actually, I thought showed a little bit of promise, but still not all that great. It was more just my bias to like the Turtles. The late 2010s animated series. I only watched a couple episodes, and I quickly realized that this was not the version for me. There was also a Batman crossover animated film, which I watched and enjoyed, although it was pretty forgettable. I don't remember much about it. So that brings us up to the present day. So I was planning on watching this one in the theaters, as I was kind of like hesitantly excited for it. I saw the initial trailer and I thought, oh, this looks kind of cool. And I saw that Seth Rogen was like a producer / writer on it. I was like, oh, this could actually be alright. But the timing just didn't work out for me, and next thing you know, it's streaming like 3 weeks later or a month later, whatever the ridiculous time frame is. And so that's how I saw it. And it took me like 10 minutes of the movie to regret not making the effort to go see it in the theater. It looks so good. I absolutely love the animation style and just the whole look and aesthetic of the film. I was also like listening to it, like bobbing my head going, why is the soundtrack going so unnecessarily hard for like a kid's animated film? And then I remembered that it was like Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, and I was like, oh, well, that makes perfect sense. So yeah, immediate regret on not going to see it on the big screen. It would have been a fantastic experience. If it's still playing in like the theater around you, go. It'll be worth it. So I'm not going to go over the story or anything like that. You can just find out for yourself. It's a Ninja Turtles movie. If that doesn't draw you in, the story's not really going to do it. So my biggest gripes with the movie was, one, they didn't differentiate the Turtles as well as I think they should have. They didn't have clear and distinct personalities like in other versions of the Turtle stuff. The other big gripe was that the story itself didn't really do all that much for me. It wasn't like the story was bad, it just wasn't all that good. They could have went a little bit deeper and been maybe a little bit more original story-wise, but minor complaint. That's it. Other than that, it was an absolute blast for me. And like, sure, they change certain details from version to version, and I'm glad they do, otherwise it would just get boring. Like, do you want to see just the Batman origin story another time, or like the Spider-Man origin story done the exact same every time? So if you do, you might be annoyed when they change some of the details in this, and you might not have fun, but you're missing out. Lighten up, it's a cartoon. And it's not like they made Splinter into a monkey and like April into a cop. These aren't huge departures from the source material here. And at the core, I thought it very much felt like the Ninja Turtles through and through. The Turtles' voice actors here had great chemistry, and they were often talking over top of each other and talking at the same time, and they sounded and acted like actual teenagers for once.
Long ago, in New York City, we were a bunch of turtles.
It felt like real kids, not like a Hollywood movie or TV show where all the teenagers are played like 25-year-olds. These guys felt like they were like 13, 14, maybe 15. And the other voice actors all brought their A game as well. The mutant cast is pretty heavily loaded with kind of famous people. And I found it was fun to try and pick out whose voice was that, and without looking it up on IMDb. So I don't really have too much more to add to this. Other than I was very pleased, and I wanted to watch it immediately again after it was done. It could be a great family film, as it's frenetic and fast-paced enough for the youngsters to keep them, grab a new generation. But it's also got enough familiar stuff so that, like, the parents and, probably grandparents to just latch on to.
Humans are the demon scum of the earth. Avoid them, don't say hi. They lust to murder that which is different from them. To interact with them is to die.
And I really hope we get more of this iteration of the Turtles, as I just, had a great time watching this. So I'm going to give it a 3.75 out of 5. It'd be a little bit higher, but this could have used that extra little something that I don't know what it was missing, but it was missing something. Some more stuff if you like this. Check out the Spider-Verse films, especially the second one. Really like that one. Check out Lego Movie if you've never seen that. It's very good. And check out Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze. It's my favorite of the live-action ones. So did you guys see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant? What'd you think of it? What do you want to hear me talk about next? If you could let me know in the comments, that would be outstanding. And if you could do me a favor and like and subscribe, that would be really great. I guess. I don't know. Or just keep on watching. Just got this on a loop. That'd probably be good too. Anyway, thanks for watching me talk about movies for a little bit. And you can tune in next time to see what else Johnny likes.
I want to see a movie and I try to talk him out of it.
Leo! What? You watch a movie with a human? Ugh.
You ratted us out.
Hey, don't use that word that way.